You ready? This is a one-of-a-kind supersonic like NASA's new spacesuit.
This feels as cool as I thought it would. I'm pretty sure I found a dinosaur bone.
Welcome to Antarctica. Formula One cars explained.
Oh my God.
Those are just a few of the highlights from one of the fastest growing shows on YouTube. The series, huge, if true, has amassed more than 8 million subscribers, and fans are calling the host, Cleo Abram, the Bill Nye for the next generation. Cleo delivers an optimistic take on how science and technology can make the future better by breaking down the biggest innovations, from AI to climate change, and as you saw there, a little bit of space exploration as well. Happy to say Cleo joins us now. Thank you, and congratulations on the show's success. And let's actually start there, because you sat down saying that the biggest misconception you wanted to clear up is that what we could find on YouTube, the quality is just what we would see, what we think of as traditional television.
Or better. I'm just so excited to be making a show that is fully mine, that is something that hundreds of millions of people watch and love every month. And the concept of Huge is optimistic futures. How can we make the future better using science and technology? And I think it's what we all need right now.
Yeah, now certainly YouTube is a success, but let's be clear, we like our cable viewers too, for those watching at home. So let's talk about how this got started. What are the origins of this, and why does science decide? Why is that your passion here?
I was a science and technology journalist covering both at a major media organization, and I was looking for the show that I wanted to watch. I was looking for a show that would help me understand who are the smart people working on hard problems that are going to make your and my life better in the future. And also, how can I, as a non-engineer, participate in that? How can I help steer what that future is going to be in a way that I think would be good for me and the people that I love? And I really couldn't find it. And I think that reflects something about the moment we're in right now in journalism. I grew up watching Star Trek, and now I'm watching Black Mirror. And people understand what that feels like in fiction, but I think the same has happened in technology journalism. And so I was trying to find the show that would show me not how are things going to get better necessarily, but how could I be part of helping things go right? And that's the show that we make. We visit behind the scenes at CERN and NASA and explain deep sea exploration. I just got back from Antarctica, where there's a ton of incredible science happening. And we explain what's happening, why it's important, and how we can all participate in making the future go right.
You mentioned Antarctica. We've got a clip. So you took a recent trip there in a quest to learn what exactly is underneath the massive continent at the southern tip of the Earth. Let's take a look.
There's something hiding down below this ice. In 1970, a group of Soviet scientists started drilling right here. For 28 years, they kept going and going until, after nearly 4,000 meters, they suddenly stopped because they had found something unimaginable: liquid water. A secret lake down below all this ice that had been completely sealed off from the rest of the world for 15 million years. How? And is there something alive in there?
That's called a good tease right there. So talk to us about, the choice. What do you choose? Like, why Antarctica? What are the subject matters, and why do you others here? There's the colossal squid. Another subject line is dinosaurs. Weirder than we thought.
Yeah, don't you want to know what they've discovered about dinosaurs since you were in high school? Turns out a lot.
They all have feathers or something?
That's one of the things that they've figured out about some dinosaurs, and it's just one of the great joys of my life is exploring what scientists and folks, great engineers, are building that could affect all of our lives. Antarctica is a perfect example. There is incredible science happening there that matters for all of us no matter where we live, because of course Antarctica has a massive impact on the world through both, the ocean water system, but also through ice melting. And it's not just that, it's inspirational stories that help people understand what it is that they could do, how they can actually participate. So, for example, one of the biggest success stories in global collaboration ever is the Antarctic Treaty and how it played out so that Antarctica is a place of peace and science now, as opposed to a war zone. It's just stories that people need to hear, not because things will necessarily go right, but again, it's how do we shape public conversation in a slightly more optimistic direction so that we make it a little bit more likely to come true?
And I'd argue timely, because there's been such cutbacks in federal research funding and even skepticism, fear about some scientific developments like AI. A good news story here reminds people why this matters. It's good that the series is on. And you can watch episodes of Huge If True on YouTube. Host Cleo Abram, congratulations. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.